I am Samantha Fairbanks. I am from Bemidji, Minnesota. I am an enrolled member at the Leech Lake Reservation.
Uju, Wasayana Kwaduk Indigenous, Nudane Benes Inan and Danis. And what I said was, hello, my name is Wasayana Kwaduk, which is my Indian name. It means the bright white clouds before the thunderstorm.
My name is Vincent Graves. I'm from Red Lake, Minnesota. I'm in my third year at Bemidji State.
I think growing up as a Native American, I guess you could say that it was a little bit different. Like, I never really noticed that we were poor until like I started school, and like, you know, having like hand-me-downs or else like pants that were like too short for you. That was us. So I guess you can say that we were like impoverished, which is actually common in Native American families.
It was different, like growing up, like it was just things that we as a family did. I didn't realize that like other people didn't do it, or I didn't think that everybody did it. It was just something that me and my family did.
Because I was brought up differently than most people, I had no idea you could buy beef. To me, I thought everybody hunted and fished. I thought everybody went into the woods to get their food. I knew there was grocery stores, but as far as meat went, I mean, I've been processing my own since, and at least helping my dad on his since I was about 9 years old.
I think that we were more assimilated. I guess my family growing up, we didn't really necessarily practice any like Native American traditions or like anything about the culture. We didn't do that stuff. It wasn't, I don't know, it just like wasn't part of our family.
I guess going to sweats and being ceremonial and that kind of things, like it's not nothing that I'm like super into, or like it's just not a part of my lifestyle. Like where I'm at in life, this is like just going to school, raising my kids. This is what I need to do.
I hunted and fished, but I didn't rice when I was young, and I didn't start dancing, going to powwows until I was a little bit older, and then even then I didn't start experiencing ceremonies until I was even a lot older than that. You know, there are people who their entire family who's done nothing but rice, but they don't hunt. You know, it's different from family to family. Everybody's been affected by the trauma of colonization differently.
Native American culture has been diminished like through centuries, and so like it's not really there anymore. It's more of the dominant culture that you can see like inside of everybody. To get like Native American culture, you have to go out and find it, versus like, you know, being able to go talk to your neighbor about something. Or else like there's like the boarding school era, which completely assimilated Native American children into the dominant culture. Inside these boarding schools, you couldn't speak your native language and you couldn't practice your Native American culture. And I view that as like the biggest downfall of like the culture, was kind of like the boarding school era, and how like the government like took the children out of their homes and put them inside of these schools like far away from the reservation. Like these children grew up not knowing anything about their culture or their language.
And just the trauma of being ripped from, you know, your parents' arms or your grandparents' arms, you know, that people, like not only in Red Lake, but other reservations and other Native communities, you know, alcoholism is something that is relevant. You know, it's something that is dealt with, and largely is because the pain and the trauma that was inflicted with these adults and their youth at these schools.
Like, because a lot of the things were lost. Like when Sam was talking about the boarding schools and assimilation, like a lot of the things were lost, and a lot of the historical trauma is like still affecting people today. And I think a lot of Native Americans in general are in like a survivor victim stage, where it's like we're just kind of picking up the pieces and trying to move on now. Like we're just holding on to what we have, and a lot of people are still struggling. I mean, sometimes it's more important that you survive through the day, the week, the year, than to try to carry on everything else.
We are not taught our history. Our history is only taught from arrival of contact on. Beyond that, we don't have a history. They don't talk about it. And even then, they only talk about certain things. I basically remember, the way I talk about it, I was like, yeah, I remember that chapter in history in third grade. You know, I feel like that's all the history on natives that we got. You know, it wasn't anything. A fantasy of the first Thanksgiving, when yes, there was that first Thanksgiving, but in the years afterwards, the Pilgrims had a Thanksgiving celebration every time they slaughtered an entire village. So really, what is Thanksgiving?
And so as to be a Native American today, I think it's like our responsibility to like rebuild this culture and to like educate more people on Native Americans and just to like let them know that, you know, like we're still here and we still have culture and we're slowly coming back.
My son, who's 6, he started out at Nagani, which is an all Ojibwe immersion school. The teachers only speak Ojibwe out there. So he's learning Ojibwe really fast. And we have the lifestyle that everyone thinks all Indians have still, like the culture and everything, the language. And then my grandma, who can speak Ojibwe but doesn't have many people to speak it to. My mother, who can only understand Ojibwe but she can't speak it. To me, who can understand it, can't speak it. And now my son, like we're coming in a full circle. And she said it just makes her heart flutter because this is her great-grandchild and this is the first out of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren that she can speak her language to. So I feel like we're finally coming in a full circle.
We are making progress in the way of teaching the little ones our culture to pass it on to them. And that's kind of what I feel like is my responsibility, and I kind of see that there are a lot of others who feel like that's theirs as well. So in a way, we are making that progress.